What's going on, guys? This is Marty's Brigade once again, and we're hitting you with excuse me, the last video of the Just Another Day in the Burg series. Now this has pretty much been a long series, and I think in total it's over 80 minutes. Right, 80 minutes at least. And actually we still have some of the high-speed stream participants on there. Shout out to good old Rage Quit Screen. I've seen him a few times on there. Alright, and he just invaded. He's kind of a stand-by at this point. Stand-byer, whatever the word is. At this particular point, while this guy's trying to hit me with the BS's. Right? And you can tell this guy, and actually, as I said before, he's pretty much easy to deal with because to the extent that he's trying to shoot in for a lock BS, you could just simply kick this guy. Right? But we actually don't have to worry about kicks at this point. Alright, so, although, okay, come on, Rage Quit. Okay, so I guess, at least at this point, he doesn't want to fight. Even though he came in first. I really wish I had some type of mic on this thing. I'd be like, hey dude, get on down here. Alright? But looks like I'm going to go at it with short again. Alright, so let's see what we're going to have going on. Most likely a few parries at my detriment. Alright. And not only, since in the last vid we were kind of talking about the parries, not only are they kind of, difficult to do those blind parries with the medium shield, but I'm using a buckler, right, which has a different animation. So I don't even really know what the timing would be with that. So in other words, it's hard enough trying to figure out the timing on a blind parry. You see that? It's hard enough trying to figure out the timing of a blind parry with a medium shield, medium or light shield, which he's using the heater. Let alone using a blind parry technique with a shield that uses the special animation. Right. Alright, so even though he hit me off with the parry, I still was able to bring his vitality pretty low. Okay, now the red tear stone is fired up. And this is where I have to really be careful because, if he hit me with the parry, it's pretty much it's not pretty much anything at this point. Alright, time for good old Rage Quit. Excuse me, time for good old Rage Quit. Alright. So I think this is another one of those videos where I get my behind handed to me. Those Twitch guys are pretty good. I'm not even close to being on their level. I'm kind of like on the just above beginner level. Did you guys see that blood kind of like squirting out like it hit an artery or something? That was pretty interesting. Alright, so this guy is using an Avalon, a weapon that I've never used. Even though I hear a lot of people say how useful it is and whatnot, I've just never used an Avalon. Mainly because it's, pretty much an instant headache in trying to get it. I tried a couple times, and after failing, I just said, who needs that ridiculous Avalon? I don't. Right? Because actually, when I went through that area, you kind of have to go through that rotating staircase. And at least during my attempts, as soon as you would land from dropping from the rotating staircase, you're hit with the arrows from those ridiculous crystal goblins. So, I don't know, I just kind of never got onto it. And actually, since I'm kind of experimenting with this build, using the composite bow, I actually just might come up with the Avalon build. And you know what? Now that I'm kind of talking about it, I think that would be a good idea. And I missed my opportunity right there, and he just hit me back with the parry. Y'all see that? So you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I think that'll be the next build that I experiment with. I just have to figure out what weapons I would use to go with it. The Avalon. Yeah, that does sound pretty cool. Alright. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, well, I won't say anything about it. You see that? Swimming with the fishes. Alright, so we're back at it. Let's see who's next up to bat. Who is this? Good old Rage Quit Scream again. Oh, that's actually Rage Quit Ice Cream. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool enough. Okay. Guess he don't like my high speed wooden boxes. And it looks like he has, what is that, the halberd? Okay. And you know what, by the way, I know in one of my more recent videos I was talking about perhaps doing some halberd PvP. And actually I still have the intention on doing it. But, I was kind of experimenting with this bow build. And while I was experimenting with it, I pretty much liked it, so I kind of stuck with it. So probably, after I do this four-part series rather, I'll kind of do something with the halberd. Either I'll do something with the halberd, or I'll try to come up with some type of Avalon build. Right, because as I've said, I want to kind of experiment with some of the items that I have never used in the past. So hopefully that'll kind of go well. Alright. Who do we have? Alright, looks like this person has got the... Is that Smo leggings? Can't really tell. Leggings do look rather big, but... Why was that guy using a divine blessing to heal? That's the kind of crap that I hate. Right? Because in other words, after we bow or you use it, because in other words, if you choose not to bow, which I'm absolutely fine with, and you grass instead, I take that as the start of the fight. Right? And that's when I'm going to engage, either at the completion of a bow or, right after you grass. That's it. I'm not standing around. I'm not doing anything. And you should also be prepared. Alright, so this guy is just kind of going in every kind of direction. So I really have to be careful, because even though somebody may say this guy is a wild action fighter, sometimes you see that? He's just kind of flipping around everywhere. I gotta have to be careful. Even though some people may say, well, wild action fighters are sometimes the easiest to defeat. Well, at the same time, wild action fighters can also be kind of intimidating. Alright. Back to short. Now I think our last fight he hit me with like 3 parries, I think. 2 or 3. So let's see what he's going to do this time. And actually I'll try to get him right there. And I don't really think he's a good person to practice the blind parry technique with. I think I just kind of need to practice on my own. you know, when I'm kind of hitting the Burg, or maybe one of these times in the kiln, because there's a lot of kind of, I don't know, wild action players over in the kiln. I think trying the blind parry technique would be good with them. But I don't know, we'll see. And actually, I don't think practice should be relegated to any particular environment, because practice is practice. But at the same time, I don't think that you ought to practice with some of the better players, because they'll just find an opportunity to hand out a beat down. Right? Alright. Ouch. That hurt. That was a good shot right there with that pyro. And those fireballs are definitely effective. Okay, what are you doing, dude? You see that? Now, I don't know why he wasn't able to land, because he definitely was successful on the parry. Alright, so we finally have the red tear stone fired up. So I have to be careful with these fireballs that he's throwing. Oops, my bad, dude. Didn't mean to shoot at you. Now, one thing that I would say, when you guys are kind of invading, kind of go stand up on that ledge up there, right? Because you wouldn't want someone to make a mistake and target you like I did. Because think about it, if I'm fighting short, but my reticle, you know, kind of go on the other person, they might take that as an attack and they may engage, but that's not even the intention. But you probably should be kind of standing up there, dude. Spectate from above. Okay, broke him off with the poison. Look at this guy. Look at this winner here. You see that? And look at him. These guys are clowns, dude. Seriously. It's not even that serious. Some of these guys are really desperate for humanity. Well, while we have a brief little break, I hope you guys really enjoyed the series. I know sometimes, you know, I kind of put in my mind, like, who really wants to watch 4 parts of a video, right? And I know in my Silver Knight series, I kind of stop at 2 parts because, you know, I kind of said to myself, they probably don't want to watch 3 long videos on spear play. But actually, you know, I kind of got some guys saying, hey dude, just go ahead, upload part 3. And unfortunately, you know, I kind of deleted some of that material. So that's why I kind of stopped at parts 1 and 2. It is also why I decided to do more parts of this Battle of the Build series, because I just said to myself, you know what, those guys kind of wanted more PvP in my Silver Knight series, so let me just kind of make a reasonably long series in this particular video. So I hope you guys are enjoying it, right? And I hope you guys didn't get bored with the commentary, because as I've said before, it is definitely not an easy thing to just sit here and ramble for 20 plus minutes, especially when you don't really have anything in particular to talk about, right? So if you guys noticed in the last fight, I was fortunate enough to get a blind parry in there, and actually, because he's doing a lot of swinging, I think this should be good practice for the blind parry. Now, I don't know why he's kind of going around naked. Well, he's not really naked. He's got the Havel's gauntlets, it looks like. So he's probably practicing with his dodging. I know I've kind of heard some people say that. They'll say, you know what? One good way to practice with your dodging is just to pretty much go naked. Alright? So, I mean, which is still good for him, because even though he's not necessarily naked, at least he has enough poise to sustain, you know, some of the basic attacks from, you know, like rapiers and maybe the katana. I don't know if only the Havel's gauntlets are sufficient, but at least he can endure a rapier attack. Wow, that was like 4 parries. Okay, well, that kind of felt good. Now I just wish I can do that to a lot more people, right? And we have short dude once again. Alright. Let's pull out some good old bow action. Oh, and actually he's scratching his behind. So I'll leave him alone. Alright, back into it. Okay, he's trying to hit me with more parries. You see that? And I think that's a good idea. Because it's kind of like, and I've actually paid attention to some of these. One thing that he'll do, he'll block an attack and immediately after a block swing. Because, actually in some cases people do that. They'll kind of, they'll block an attack, and once the attack is blocked, in some cases your opponent does follow up. Right, which is pretty good. And actually I just punished that parry attempt. Right, because that's basically the only thing that I can do. Because see, he's doing it now. You guys notice what he's doing? He was trying to, and I just punished it. And he would probably be the only person that I would use a backstab to punish. Right? Only because, what else do you do about it? You can't kick the guy. You can't keep swinging because he'll hit you with the parries, as you guys have seen with your own eyes. So, it is what it is. That guy's just going to be getting BS'd. Right? So, sorry about that, dude. Alright, so what is this guy using? The great axe? Okay, so I'm in big trouble. He's got a great axe buffed with the Dark Moonblade Miracle. Okay, well I can try to parry that swing. Because if you notice, he's done it twice in a row. So I think, okay, 3 times in a row. Okay, so that's probably, oh my god. You guys see how much vitality that was? And I don't know why I just simply did not. Well, actually, I kind of do know why I didn't wait. My logic for not waiting is, Dark Moonblade or not, that great axe is extremely powerful. And actually, I tried to parry right there, but I missed it. It is what it is. But that great axe is extremely strong. Right, whether it has a buff or not. So the way I look at it, if it's strong anyway, and it's not really going to make much difference whether it's buffed or not, I might as well just go ahead and try to go toe to toe with it, especially knowing how slow the attacks are. Alright, so he's using the Burg. Got him with a high speed parry. And he's also inflicted with the poison. And actually, if you guys just paid attention, I just used the bait and switch tactic. I know it was kind of hard to see because I was in the corner, but I actually did it. Alright, I was kind of shooting off and I back. Okay, so he's went in for a lock BS. I guess he got ticked off from that parry. He was going in for it there. Now, I could have kicked. I just didn't. Alright, so he's done with. Ciao. Alright. Alright. What do we have here? Looked like the good old Y-hander. he just switch weapons? Okay, so he's using the Burg too. Alright. Why was I not surprised? Why am I not surprised? Straight for the BS. That crap absolutely gets on my... And actually he's fishing, because he tried to do it then. And he tried to do it again. These fishers really get on my nerves. Come on, dude, get off it. He's still trying to do it. But who cares? Because in other words, because I know that's what he's trying to do. And now he was trying to roll BS me. The funny thing about it is I used to play exactly like some of these guys are playing. Right? Because I just saw BSing as the best way for me to finish off an opponent. And it actually took for me to come to the Burg to start changing my gameplay style. Right? And actually the first time I came to the Burg, I actually had a few matches against good old Triple. And from that point onward, it just, I don't know, I just started coming to the Burg a lot. And with coming to the Burg a lot and doing a lot of 1v1s in the Butterfly Forest, it just really changed my PvP playstyle, right? Because I went from trying to do a whole bunch of critical attacks to actually trying to play my build for what it is. Like if you notice, in this whole 4-part series, for the most part, I tried to play this build the way it should have been played, right? I used a bow because, you know, that's what I had equipped. I used a spear, and in some cases, you know, I kind of incorporated other attacks. I also attempted a lot of those bait and switch moves because that's what I'm trying to get proficient in with regards to this particular build, right? So yeah, well guys, looks like we're at the end of this particular video, and actually this will be the final part of the series, right? Because it's pretty long and I really don't want to keep using the same build for another 20 minutes. I know you guys will probably get tired of it. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed the series. Stay tuned for my next uploads, and it will probably be Avalon action. But I'm just going to have to either get muled one or go through the grinding process of trying to get one myself. Alright, anyway, till next time, Martyrs Brigade.